So, if you are a sensitive person to energy, then you have likely been experiencing some of the same challenges that I have in the last few days. There has been an immense, intense, electrifying energy that has actually kept me awake. I have been through the night having actual trouble with my energy, trying to ground. Now, grounding is the ability to be in the moment, focused, mind, body, soul being connected. And when you have a connection with yourself, you are able to be grounded so that you are able to manage your energy and the energy around you a lot better. So, as I've been going out into public places in the last couple days, I've been very aware that more people are experiencing the effects of this energetic shift, or just being, I can tell who's sensitive to energy and maybe who is really good at grounding or who isn't really picking up the energy around them. And what I've been aware of is that we are less tolerant for things to go wrong. People are impatient. There feels like a lack of communication, like people aren't understanding each other. I've witnessed several times in the last 2 days where I'm hearing one person say something to someone else and they're saying the same thing back to them, and both of them think that they're not saying the same thing, but they are. So I've noticed communication challenges. Something also being lost in translation as well, where someone is coming and showing their vulnerability, and then that's being used against them, and then they feel like they need to be defensive. So right now, like I said, I'm sensitive to this energy, so I'm seeing and feeling all of this vibrational frequency around me. If you are noticing that you've had trouble sleeping, you might be someone who is restless. You might feel it in your body where you're like tensing up, or having trouble settling, or feeling like that sense of peace. Your mind is spinning where you're like, okay, I know I'm thinking about things, but I don't really know what I'm thinking about, but I feel like I've missed something or something is coming. Someone described it as a feeling of dread, and someone else described it as a feeling of doom. Someone else described it as a feeling of anxiousness. And then there was someone else that had explained it as feeling like the floor is going to drop out from under their feet. So there is that restless energy that's happening. Now, right now, everybody's super excited about the upcoming days off. We are entering into a long weekend here. Most of us are going to be having time off, trying to do things with friends and family, maybe taking time for ourselves. But because all of us are also experiencing the energy around us, universally, collectively, and individually, we have to remember that when we're going out, we need to do some basic things in order to prepare ourselves. So, grounding is that process of connecting mind, body, and soul. How I do it is I focus on my breath, deep breathe in through the nose, hold it, and then release. I'm talking about holding it for a couple seconds and then releasing out the mouth. Breath is extremely valuable to exchange low vibrational energy for high vibrational energy, or higher vibrational energy, and that can reset your frequency very quickly. Focusing on, say, if you want to pick 3 things in the room that are pink, and focus on those ones. I'm very physical. I like to feel things physically in order to ground. So bare feet on my carpet, out on the grass, feeling the texture. Also paying attention to scent. If you can smell something, what does it smell like? What are you experiencing from that? Look at the different textures and shapes and colors and sounds. Pay attention. How many birds are chirping? Do you hear kids laughing? Is there a train in the background? All of these things are helping you to be able to pay attention to the moment that you're in, and to be able to connect back to self so that you can start to ground. I would do this when I wake up. I would do it before I go out into public, and I would do it throughout the day. If you're planning to do a day at the beach, then maybe you're feeling your feet on the sand. Maybe you're grabbing a handful of sand and feeling the texture in your hands. Maybe simply getting into the water and feeling the cold water, cool water on your body, and the sensation that makes you feel is really grounding you in those moments. But other people like to use crystals, or they like to smudge with sage or other grasses. And there is meditation. You can meditate, you can journal. A lot of people get afraid of the word journal because they feel like it's like a big thing that they have to come up with. All I do is I even use my voice recorder and just say what's on my mind. Just do like a dump onto my voice recorder. So I don't have to sit and try to write, because after a long day of using the computer or looking at screens or writing or reading, the last thing that I want to do, my body can't take anymore, is to sit and write again. So just using a voice recorder to do that. Finding that person, your person who's someone you can connect to, that is your kind of whatever safe space or your support person or whatever. It could be also an animal. It could be just going into nature and just spending time around the trees and the plants and all of that stuff. So find what works for you. But if you're feeling unsettled because of the energy that you are picking up on, the number one thing I want to say out of this whole message is other people are experiencing it too. So if you come along and you're ungrounded and this person comes along and they're ungrounded and you're both trying to connect, it's not going to land very well. It's probably going to be frustrating. It's probably going to be misunderstanding. It's probably going to be alienating. It's probably going to be infuriating, whatever. Very, very confusing even. So right now we're focusing on communication with the energy that's circling around us. It's prompting us to be more aware of what we're trying to say. What is the message we're trying to say? And then say it. And then be open to listening and receiving what the other person is saying. So grounding yourselves before you guys head out is going to be essential. It'll also help you get some better sleep. And don't forget to fill up on water, because water is extremely replenishing and will help you ground your energy.